Yeah, YouTube, what up? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Watts, and I'm Watts, and I'm again talking about Carmelo Hayes and the injustice that he is experiencing on the main roster. And there is no big Andre the Giant chain that can change any of that. There's not an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that can change any of that. No PLEs? You mean to tell me we didn't get only one? He was only involved in one PLE match, and that was the triple threat match at Crown Jewel, and he didn't even win that. I think he took the pin too. My point is, first one eliminated in the 2025 Royal Rumble, not getting no motion. It's almost as if Triple H is burying this guy and not even allowing him to be himself. He's not even allowing him to be himself, and we seen what he did in NXT. We seen what he was on. He was putting people's jerseys in the rafters after he beat their ass. And now, everything that made him who he was in NXT, they stripped him of it. And then, now, this just in, Ricochet talking about, oh, it was sarcasm, but he was basically trying to say that this is exactly what people were saying about him when he was in WWE and he was trying to get out. But you want to know one thing, Ricochet? You and Carmelo Hayes is not in the same playing field. Simple as that. Y'all are not the same. You're complaining about the lack of opportunities you got when he didn't even get any opportunities when he got to the main roster. At least you won the United States Championship. You won the Intercontinental Championship. It's not their fault that you couldn't get over. So you comparing yourself to Carmelo Hayes don't even make sense. Respectfully. All I'm trying to say is that at least give the man the opportunity to show how good he really is. And this goes back to what I say when I say it all the time. These guys, these bookers, Triple H or whoever writes the script, they can choose who gets pushed and who doesn't get pushed. They just don't want to push him. I go back to this all the time, and not to make a comparison. I'm going to be real with y'all. Not even to make a comparison, because I'm happy about what Braun Breaker is doing. When Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes was on the same level in NXT, nobody cared about Braun Breaker being the NXT champion. Everybody was like, yo, what is Carmelo Hayes going to do next as the North American champion? With that whole A and B champion stuff, it wasn't a coincidence. We only cared about what Carmelo Hayes had going on. It took Braun Breaker years to figure it out. It took him, he was on some John Cena shit in NXT 2.0 where everybody was just like, yo, I'm sick of this. I'm tired of him. They need to give the title to somebody else because he's not figuring it out. We tend to have revisionist history, ladies and gentlemen. At least Triple H has revisionist history. Because when you really think about it and when you chalk it up to the game, we already know who Triple H's favorite really is. Because how the hell this man Braun Breaker, who didn't really get a lot of respect from his peers or the IWC in general when he first became NXT champion, and he was just stinking up the place, for lack of a better term, and Carmelo Hayes was carrying NXT, we're going to act like we don't remember that? Clearly, Triple H is in the business of burying Shawn Michaels' talent when they get to the main roster. Everybody who Shawn Michaels ends up choosing is somebody who gets shitted on when they get to the main roster. Shawn Michaels called Carmelo Hayes his illegitimate son. He said, yo, that he remind me of how I was in the 90s, this and that, like ring-wise. He said this. He was supposed to be up next. This man was the proverbial number one draft pick. And what have y'all done with the number one draft pick but make him look like a fucking clown? And it's no coincidence that the internet is looking at it. The IWC, wrestling Twitter is all over it. Like, yo, like we don't like what they doing to you right now. Like I said, it's been one calendar year. And I said, if they don't do nothing with this man, like something as simple as the qualifying match, he's not even on the card. Triple H keep on showing people who he really is and what he really stands for, and people still go to these shows and pay for it. But one thing I will say, people make it abundantly clear that wrestling is a white man's sport. I get that. But yo, when white boys ain't really cutting it the way they really should be cutting it, and there's guys that's really more than capable of taking that brass ring and being at the top of the company. It's undeniable. What do y'all want me to say? Because if you think about it, and I had a friend, he said, yo, it's nothing special about him. And when he says him, no pun intended, he's talking about Carmelo Hayes. He's like, it's nothing really special about him. He gotta prove himself. But how the hell does he prove himself if he don't even get the time to do that? How does he do that? And on top of that, there are so many other average, below average guys that's on a roster that has these opportunities that a black wrestler who is a lot more talented could take that brass ring and run with it. Didn't even really take them that much to figure it out, but they figured it out. But you're constantly spoon feeding this guy to us, spoon feeding this guy, and trying to shove him down our throats or whatnot. Come on, the story writes itself. My point is, though, Ricochet does not have no room to speak on any of this because you've gotten opportunities to figure it out. You've gotten opportunities on the main roster. You've gotten opportunities on NXT. Wrestling is more than just doing Cirque du Soleil bullshit and flips and whatnot that you be doing, brother man. So, like I said, no disrespect, no malice intent, but please shut the fuck up when you talking about WWE business. Worry about getting yourself over in AEW. Worry about certain guys not passing you by in AEW. If you're so happy about what you got going on in AEW, shut the fuck up about WWE, respectfully. It has nothing to do with you and it's beyond a character. You sound like a hater. I just wanted to speak my piece, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to say what it is and what it wasn't. And that's what it is and that's what it isn't. Or something like that. But yo, please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Help grow the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what you hear and you like what you see. Super grateful for those who are tapped in with me, and I'm going to continue to be grateful for those who are tapped in with me, and I'm going to continue to drop content at a high clip, and I'm going to continue to have you guys ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everything. I'm out. Peace.